Hello world. Today we are diving into the essential skill of managing files effectively. After this video, you are expected to know what file handling is, why is it important, and also able to do the fundamentals of it, from opening, reading, writing, and closing files, which we'll demonstrate later on. So, before anything else, my name is James Lawrence, an 18 years old first year computer science college student and a former senior high school STEM enthusiast. And now I'm here to be your guide through the basics of file handling. So, have you ever thought about what file handling is? So, file handling basically encompasses tasks such as creating, opening, reading, writing, and closing files, facilitated by different functions that enable the execution of input, output, and various file operations within a C program. And some of those functions will gonna be used for our code demonstration later on. A simple way to explain this is to imagine that your computer is a book filled with pages of your favorite stories. File handling is like how you open these pages, read them, and even put new stories in them. It is how the computer organizes and deals with all the stories you love to keep as a book. So, why is it important? Why do you need to learn this, and why do I need to teach this topic to you? In C programming, when you run a program in a terminal, any information displayed is temporary and disappears when you close the program. However, in the software industry, we often need to save and access data. However, we can conduct file handling, which allows programs to store and retrieve information for later use. We can apply this in scenarios where there is a great need for data integrity, fault tolerance, and historical analysis of the data file, such as in a banking system where file handling plays a very important role in logging financial transactions. Every time a customer engages in activities such as deposits, withdrawals, or fund transfers, the details of these transactions are recorded in files using file handling techniques. I'm gonna use GDB for coding. So now let's open a file. Basically, opening a file is nothing but connecting our C program to the external file. In this case, we are connecting our main.c file to the txt file right here. First, let's put the file pointer. Uh, this pointer is used in C file handling to perform all file operations, which can be defined inside the stdio.h. Uh, then I will now use the fopen function. The R attribution indicates that we are opening the file in read mode, so we can only perform the read operation on the file. So inside the fopen function is the name of the file to be opened, and the R attribution in quotation mark. While opening the file in read mode, you need to make sure that the file is already present in the specified location where it can be recognized. Otherwise, the fopen function will return null. I'll add an if-else statement to check if the file opened successfully or not. So as you can see, the file opened successfully because the file.txt file is present here. Now let's see what happened if we change the name of the file. Let's say file3.txt. As you can see, we get the file open unsuccessfully output because the file name file3 does not exist and fopen function returns null. Now that we know how to open a file in read mode, let's read its content. So let's delete this part. To read the file, first we need to create an array to store the file content. So now let's read the content of this file to this array. So I'll write fgets function. Now since fgets can only read the first sentence at a time, to read all the lines in txt file, we can use a loop. Fgets function read the content of the file and stores it in the content area, and this 1000 that you can see is the size of the file that to be read or can be read, and fptr is the pointer used to read the file. If the file read is successful, it returns true. Otherwise, it returns false. Our loop runs until there is some content to be read from the txt file. As you can see, we are able to read all the content of the file. Let's check. Once the read operation is complete, it is a good practice to close the file. We use the fclose function to close the file. We can add the function in the end. So we will just add this function at the end of the program. Then it is done. Now, before writing a file, we need to create a new file. To do this, we just need to open the file in write mode. This means that we need to use W attribution as the second parameter instead of R, with fopen function, and put the name of the file that does not exist yet. So let's try it. This file.txt already exists, but if we put a name of file that does not exist, a new file is created, like just what happens now. We then added the content to the file using fputs functions. Don't forget to close the file using fclose function. There. As you can see, that is the content that we put in our main.c file, so it is successful. Then we need to create a new file before writing, as initial content of the file is erased and new content is added. So whenever we open the file in write mode, if the file is already exists, all content will be erased. Back to the slides. To summarize, file handling allows programs to store, retrieve, and manipulate data in files, enabling persistent storage and efficient data management. It is indeed just a simple yet very important process. We can open a file using fopen function, either in read mode with R attribution or writing mode with W attribution. We should always remember that when we write content to a file, the initial content of that file will be erased. And don't forget also to close the file using the fclose function at the end of the program. So that's it. Thank you for joining me in exploring the bare basics of file handling. Uh, these are the sources for the content of this video. And if you want to further study file handling, I suggest checking geeks4geeks.org, as it is more detailed and provides additional information about this topic, such as handling binary files. So I hope you learned something new today, and God bless.